Hello, my name's Carol Flavin. I'm a railway modeller and I love making things for my layout. This video is about how I made a Yorkshire village for Edghay and Strines Railway. Hello, my name's Carol Flavin. This is my layout, which is very much under construction at the moment. I have two villages in it. The first is Edghay village. It's a Yorkshire village, it has cobbled streets, and I'm doing a short video for you on how I made it. My other village is Strines village, which is a market village. This is only just started, but I thought I'd just show you some quick pictures of it. Anyway, this is how I made Edghay village. I do hope you enjoy it and you find some useful information in this little video. This is the pop-up hole on my layout that allows me to lift it out and get to the various bits of it that I can't reach by leaning over. And it's a good size for me to put the village on. This is the pop-up hole which I've brought through into my workshop. I've been determining where everything is to go on it, and I've drawn out the roads, for instance, which lead across to where the level crossing is. I've also been thinking about where the buildings are going to go, so I've put a piece of paper down there that says blacksmith on it. What I am going to do though is cover the whole board in cobblestones, and I'm now going to show you how I do that. This is a grey stone Yorkshire village, and I decided that it needed a cobblestone base for it. Now I found this wallpaper and realised that it looks very much like cobblestones, except it's gold and shiny. So I'm actually now going to show you how I convert it into something that looks like real cobblestones and has the same sort of texture and look that you might see in a Yorkshire village. I found this particular type of wallpaper because I scour the DIY shops and bring home samples of things that might give a nice textured surface on my layout. First thing I need to do is paint it out and get rid of the gold, and I use grey acrylic. Now I'm only going to paint a small area because I'm actually going to show you how to create the effect. So the first coat of grey acrylic is near enough dry, and I'm going to put the next coats on just so that you can see how you make this look like a real cobbled effect. There's three colours here. These are tester pots. This one is a sort of cobblestoney colour. This is a pale steely colour. That one's a sort of darkish slate. So they come with brushes. So I'm going to literally daub splodges onto the area that I'm working on. And I then use a cloth, just a bit of an old tea towel. And if you start to wipe it on it, you get a feel as I do this as to how the effect can be created of giving depth and movement to the cobblestones. Okay, so that one was the beigey coloured one. I'm going to put the lighter cobbly coloured one. This is the lighter of the three. Rub that in as well. Oops, sorry, that moved. Well, that bit there wasn't quite dry there, and it's revealed the gold colour, but this is only an exemplar anyway. So there we go. That's starting to get the effect that I want. And then if I put a bit of the grey on, particularly where I've rubbed off some of the acrylic colour, and that in part is because I've been a bit impatient and done this before it was fully dry. This time I'm not going to rub it quite so hard. So there we go. What we've got here now then is a piece of cobblestone It's got texture, it's got the look of cobblestones. If I bring it up closer to the camera, you can see how the joins stand out. This will dry matte. You could, if you wanted to spend the time, pick out some of the joins with a fairly dry brush with a darker colour. If you prefer it though, you can leave it like it is, or alternatively, put either matte or shiny varnish on, depending on whether you want to make it look as if it's raining or not. This is the cobblestones before I painted all the other colours on top of it, but I wanted to put some edging as a finishing off between the cobbles and the road. This is another of the wallpapers I found. It's got squares on it. Ignore the shiny side of it. That can be painted out. What I did was cut halves to make an edge, which I then put in place, and when I painted all the rest of it, they got painted in to match. This is the village. I've put it in place so that you can see what it looks like, although I do have a few more things that I want to do to it. In the foreground there is a station that abuts my track. I've put in place a number of things. There are quite a few shops. There are some houses, because villages obviously have houses for people to live in. There is also a blacksmith's forge in the background, which I really wanted to do because I've had that building for a very long time and I wanted somewhere to put it. I've created a market. There are some little bits of areas with water features in, with planters. Obviously there's a telephone kiosk and a pillar box. I'm going to be doing a few other things. For instance, this is a little video I did for the grandchildren and sent through to them fairly recently. This is a walk through Edge Hay Village down at near street level, so that you can see what the cobblestones look like, what's going on as far as water features are concerned, the buildings, the people. You can also see the market in the background. This is Edge Hay Village at night. I've lit all the buildings and I've got some ambient light picking out certain buildings as well, like the hotel and the pub at the front. And the blacksmith's forge at the back on the right-hand side has a flashing light depicting its fire. I haven't put street lights in at this stage. I am going to be, but they're quite expensive, and I've decided to hang on and light my other village and also light the factory that I'm doing all at the same time. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video and that the hints and the tips and the information that I've given you in it will be useful when you come to build the scenics on your own layout, possibly in a different way to the way that you thought you might want to do them. Thank you for watching this How I Did It video. And I do hope that the hints, tips and information contained in it have given you some new ideas for your own scenic model railway making. If that's the case, do please share it, like it, or tell anybody else about it that might be interested. Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye.